Grab hold. That's the way. That's the handshake.
I like that better. Yeah. Okay.
So do that again. That's good. Again. That's the handshake.
There we go.
Get a picture.
All right, John and Ken Show, KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. We took the show today to Occupy LA. All the Occupy movement's in the news, of course, although the news is getting a little more negative these days because of efforts in some cities to remove the demonstrators. Ted Hayes is here, hasn't been on the show in probably a few years, to talk to us about how he sees all this. He's, hi Ted, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you allowing me to voice my opinion.
All right, so what is your opinion of this and your ideas for it?
You know, I was doing this 26 years ago. We used to come here with the homeless, not because we wanted to camp out, but we had no other place to go. And we were chased off, by the police or they turned the water sprinklers on. So we had to occupy different places around the city. And we were saying what these young people are saying, that there is corruption in Wall Street and the government, but we had plans. And what I want to do here tonight is make a proposal to the body as to what they can do to give themselves some moral rectitude so that they can address Wall Street and the corrupt government. Because if they cannot address the homeless, the condition at the bottom of our society, they're just as bad, if not worse, than Wall Street.
So what's your proposal?
My proposal first is to make them aware. We want them to march on the 19th of this month, November. We want the thousands of them to march to Skid Row to put the attention on the bottom of the world. It's kind of like mirroring the polar opposite of what Skid Row is to their faces. And then we have some other plans that go with that. On the 12th, we are with the sons and daughters of the slaves, which are black folks. This country was built on our backs as slaves. Wall Street is built on our backs. The majority of the homeless, 60%, are the sons and daughters of slaves. So we're going to march with the slave ship float from Skid Row, Wall Street, Skid Row, up here to Spring Street, and we're going to talk to these young people about the history of our fight as sons and daughters of slaves against Wall Street corruption and big government and so forth, ever since we've been in this country.
Yeah, I know you've been fighting homeless as long as I can remember being in LA.
Yes, sir.
Many, many years. Have you seen anything get better, or has it gotten worse?
It has gotten worse, and that's because of poor leadership within the government, city, county, state, and federal government. That is why. And we went, remember I used to go to city, remember when we occupied city council chambers? Remember that day?
Right. Yeah.
We were saying to them then, why don't you open up land, put porta potties, and put up some domes, and let the homeless go there and get them off the indignity of these sidewalks.
Right.
They rejected it, okay? But when a bunch of white kids come up here with their allies, okay, and their iPods and things, okay? No, I'm not putting it down. I salute you, actually. And when they come up here, they acquiesce and do a very dumb thing, a very hypocritical thing. Why would they let these people come? When the homeless came, they chased us away. They've got to answer that. And see, I think Mr. Villaraigosa and the city council is in serious trouble because they cannot make these people leave. The reason why they can't make them leave, because when they came here, they broke the law. They were criminals. But now they invited the criminals to stay. So how can they in court force them to leave? They can't. It's like if you invite me to your house, John, say, Ted, there's a couch, go to sleep, brother, for a few days. Then I say, John, I'm not leaving.
Well, I'm not going to be inviting you in there. Well, you can give me a 30-day notice to vacate.
But folks, you get the point. And the mayor, and I think if they accept my proposal and allow me to become their servant, because I know how to do this. You guys know I know how to do this.
Yeah, you've worked on this a long time.
If they'll let this elderly gentleman do that with them, what we will do then is we can negotiate with the city council and the county and everybody. We want the national homeless plan implemented that Mr. Hayes and the homeless people put before you a long time ago. We want that done. Suddenly now, not only do we have critical mass and agreeing on something, but we have a plan. The reason that the mayor of Atlanta was being questioned today on CNN, and among other things, he gave several reasons why he shut the community down. But he said the primary reason was they didn't have a leader. They had no one to talk to. They wanted to address their issues, but no one was willing to take the heat within the body to stand up and say, you know what, guys, I'm going to be the leader and I will represent us. Oh, but who do you think you are? Well, the mayor says, you know what, they have no leader, we can't talk to. So we shut them down.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know who they'd
whenever Villaraigosa decides to kick everybody off, I don't know who's going to negotiate.
Hopefully, God willing, hopefully, if the body accepts my proposal and my eldership, he will have to negotiate with me on their behalf, if they accept it.
All right, so you are offering yourself as a leader of this Occupy LA group.
I'm offering myself as a servant leader. I can only do it if they allow me and they take the vote and there's enough consensus to say, you know what, we're going to trust that old guy. We think he knows what he's talking about.
Otherwise, what do you see happening here?
What I see happening here is that it's going to be very ugly for LAPD, primarily.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to come in here and move these folks, and some of them are going to say, you know what, we don't want no trouble, we'll go somewhere else. Others are going to say, we want the fight. We want the fight. We want the lawsuits. And see, I think that my ideas, if allowed by this body to be presented properly, I think we can resolve this matter without a big blow up. In fact, one of the things that could happen if they want to, why don't they open up some land, a lot of vacant land around here, open up for the homeless people to get them off those sidewalks and stop making them taking down their tents. And some of these people will move in with them, so it's not just homeless people, but it's these young soldiers of justice and peace and love that will amalgamate with the homeless people themselves. And now we've got a movement, and then the other bodies around the country will follow our example, and suddenly we have moral rectitude.
Wow,
right,
I'm ready
Ted.
to march with you. All right, very good.
Thank you for the time, sir.
Very good.
Ted
There
Hayes
you
wants to
go.
offer himself
Thank
to
you.
help lead this movement to the next level, and he particularly thinks that start with the homeless.